Hey everyone, I figured I wanted to give my thoughts on what I, thought about the Hobbs and Shaw, which is the spinoff of the Fast and the Furious movie. So basically, it takes place about 2 years after the events of the eighth Fast and the Furious film, Fate of the Furious, and it teams up, the characters of, Luke Hobbs and, Deckard, Shaw, played by Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. The story includes, Deckard's sister, Hattie Shaw, um, who ends up getting ambushed and, set up by a former rogue MI6 agent by the name of Brixton Orr, who is played by Idris Elba, and she ends up, I guess, injecting herself with a virus, called, Snowflake, which in a sense kind of feels a little similar to the premise of, Mission Impossible 2, in which the Nia Hall character also injected herself with a virus of sorts, and then, of course, Luke and Deckard are forced to work together again, as to prevent this snowflake virus from spreading, which is Ariadne's plan to kind of like extinguish humanity and kind of like this, the strong survive and the weak perish, and of course, like all the Fast and Furious movies, they all have their, I guess you would say over the top moments, and especially with the angle of, Brixton's character being, enhanced with the superhuman, abilities to make him almost like a perfect super soldier of sorts, which I kind of thought was taking the franchise a little bit, away from, what initially started off with, as a car heist movie, but, I guess sometimes you gotta like change it up a bit to keep it from going too stale. And of course, surprisingly the film was better than I thought it would be, primarily because of the witty banter between Dwayne Johnson's character and of course Jason Statham's character, since they're almost like even though it's almost like a hate love relationship, if you'd want to say that particular aspect. And I would say also what I thought was pretty cool about this film, you get to kind of explore, Deckard's relationship, with his sister, and of course, Helen Mirren also returns as Magdalene Queenie Shaw, the mother of, Deckard and, Hattie Shaw. And of course, what's also great about this film, you finally get to also explore Luke's Hobbs' backstory as well, particularly his character comes from the Samoa, and of course, there's also a back, story between him and his, brother, which I thought was pretty cool, and you get to see the Samoan culture, which I thought was also a pretty cool thing to see. Hopefully, I don't know if they'll do another spin-off sequel of Hobbs and Shaw, or maybe they might do other spin-off of other characters, but it'd be interesting to see what direction the franchise will go in next. Like I said, well, it may not be the best Fast and the Furious film, but like I said, certainly far from the worst. But it's what I would call a good old fun escapism, which I guess is the whole intent of the film. So that's that. So I guess for those that have seen the previous Fast and the Furious films, and and that, I think then it's definitely this type of movie is definitely something that one should check out, just to see where the story goes and things like that. Okay, everyone, thanks again.